tundra is located in many areas around the world, which are Alaska, northern Canada, areas of Greenland, northern Scandinavia, northern Siberia, and Russia. The abiotic factors of the tundra are strong winds, rainfall, short summer days, long and cold winters, the soil, and the permafrost layer. The native plants of the tundra are the Arctic moss, the bearberry plant, and the posh flower. The Arctic moss is an aquatic plant which grows underwater. It adapts to its climate by being able to store its energy to use even when it isn't growing. It grows low to the ground to avoid harsh winds and freezing cold. The posh flower grows low to the ground as well. It has fine silky hairs which help to insulate it. The flower is normally used to create cataracts. The bearberry plant, which also grows low to the ground, tries to stay out of winds in the tundra. It hides behind rocks. Also, the leaves moisture the inside of the plant. Some of the native animals in the tundra are the Norway lemming, polar bears, the Arctic fox, and the grizzly bear. In the winter, the Norway lemmings migrate, but they do not hibernate. They bury themselves underground to escape the cold. Polar bears have fur on the soles of their feet so that they can get a better grip on the ice, and strong legs for running and swimming, which makes catching their prey easier. They also have a thick white layer of fur, which helps them to camouflage. The Arctic fox's thick white layer of fur and its fluffy tail helps it to survive its harsh habitat. Their small pointy ears help them hear their prey moving underground. The grizzly bear has two adaptations: a physical adaptation, which changes the way it looks, and a behavioral adaptation, which changes the way it behaves. The grizzly bear has a big hump at the top of its shoulders and long claws, which helps them to get their food. The big hump at the top of its shoulders is an adaptation for digging and for attaining the burst of speed when necessary for the capture of moose or caribou. For grizzly bears, they also hibernate. It makes the bear's body temperature, heart rate, and need for energy lower. Two animals that are always in competition are the musk ox and the caribou. The reason why they fight is mostly over territory, because the musk ox eats plants like sedges and grasses, and the caribou eats berries, grasses, and sedges also. Another example of competition are polar bears. Even though polar bears generally live alone, sometimes they cross each other's paths, and if they want the same thing, they will fight for it, sometimes until death. They will fight over food, dens, or for males. During mating season, they may even fight over females. Hiking, skiing, river floating, and viewing wildlife are some recreational activities that you may find fun while you're in the tundra. One of the first points of interest in the tundra are the cultural activities. Living in the incredible cold with no reliable agriculture, native peoples of the tundra have been forced to adapt to these seemingly impossible situations. As cultural awareness has increased throughout the world, the controlling governments of these tundra regions have worked to preserve cultural heritage. The second point of interest are the astronomical discoveries. The far northern latitudes offer the best views of the night sky on Earth, apart from the much more difficult to reach Antarctic region. There are stargazing points of interest about the tundra, and many organizations exist to bring you to the tundra during the times of peak astronomical activities, such as during the major meteor storms. The first nearby biome in the tundra is the Arctic tundra, located in the northern hemisphere, encircling the North Pole and extending to the South Pole forests of the taiga. The second nearby biome is the Alpine, located on the mountains throughout the world at high altitudes where trees cannot grow. The amount of yearly precipitation, including melting snow, is around 15 to 25 centimeters, which is 6 to 10 inches. In the summer, the average temperature in the tundra is 3 to 12 degrees Celsius, which is 37 to 54 degrees in Fahrenheit. In the winter, the average temperature is negative 34 degrees Celsius, which is negative 30 degrees in Fahrenheit. The recommended clothing to wear while in the tundra are thermal underwear, thermax socks, a total of 100 weight piles of clothes for above and below the waist, polypro gloves, and a hat. The equipment that you will need is a gas or propane stove. Use a fire pan instead of firewood to prevent fire scars, and a first aid kit. Signaling devices are also needed. Smoke flares, mirrors and strobes, and a ground-to-air radio. Snow blinding can occur, so have polarized sunglasses. In the summer, it is possible that you can drive a regular four-wheel car into the tundra, but in the winter, they have vehicles that are designed to protect the travelers as they travel. Oil spills can kill wildlife and significantly damage the tundra ecosystem. The melting permafrost could radically change the landscape and what species are able to live there. The Arctic climate affects the world. Changes in the sea ice affect the ocean circulation, which in turn affects the atmospheric circulation that then impacts the globe. Past research suggests that global warming has already brought later winters and earlier springs to the Arctic, and fossil forests reveal that the Arctic was once green as well. At least half of the tundra will see changes in the plant types it supports by 2050. The tundra plays a large role in the temperature regulation of the planet. As warm air rises from the tropical zone, it is cooled in the tundra, causing it to sink back down to the equator. This causes weather and air currents. Without this system, climate as we know it would change dramatically around the world. Areas that could once support life may not be able to do that anymore. It also is a winter home for many species of bird, and if they were to disappear from the food chain, it would cause devastating changes to other species dependent on them. The tundra is a key factor in global biodiversity.